Number 3, there are many ordinances called baptism. Isn't any one of these acceptable provided a person is sincere and earnest about it? Now the Bible says there is one Lord, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 5, one faith, one baptism. Primarily that means there is one truth we are baptized into, but I think it's also safe to say there's one biblical method of baptism. You know how many things are called baptism today? Some people get sprinkled in rose petals, and they call that baptism. They say, pour salt on me. They call that baptism. Some pastors baptize people over the telephone by saying a few choice words. I heard about one pastor in the market. He met a lady who was very anxious to be a Christian. He was busy. He had a bottle of Diet Coke right there in his shopping cart. He looked both ways, poured some on his head, and he said, "You're baptized." That's sacrilegious. None of these things are seen in the Bible. Now, some might be saying, "Doug, isn't it true that baptism is just a symbol?" Yes, it is a symbol, but it's a very sacred symbol. When you have the Lord's Supper and you eat the unleavened bread and the grape juice, that's a symbol too. Heard about one pastor who said, "Well, it's just a symbol. Why don't we use hamburgers and Coca-Cola?" You know what happens to truth when you begin to degrade it by taking away from the symbol? All of the meaning is lost. Now, the only biblical method of baptism you see anywhere in the Bible was immersion. Every example of a baptism in the Bible, they were immersed in water. They were submerged, because baptism is symbolized by a death, a burial, a resurrection, a new birth, a cleansing, and these other methods don't accommodate that. The symbolism is lost. Number 4, why does a bride wear a white dress at her wedding? What's that a symbol of? It's supposed to be a sign that she's pure, she's a virgin, and the symbol means something, doesn't it? If she came to the wedding wearing paisley, well, that would denote something else, wouldn't it? For my mother's 4th wedding, she wore scarlet. She knew what the symbols meant. And so symbols do mean something. And when you take away from the symbols that God has in the Bible, then you lose the meaning of the whole thing. Number 4, how was Jesus baptized? The Bible tells us, and